I'm Kris. That's Tyler. Ohio State beats Michigan. A fun rivalry weekend. We've got coaching moves. And we got to unpack the whole thing. My co-host Tyler. How are you?
Besides being a little sick, couldn't be much better.
Yeah.
Listen, if it takes me being sick the day after the game and they win, I'm good. I'll wear it for the squad. I'll eat it every time.
Pause. But yeah.
That was a bit of a pause.
We're both huge Ohio State fans. And we started this show. We actually started recording the show, our practice runs after the national title last year. We talked a good amount though, before that, obviously. But this is our first hate week on the channel. And this is our first hate week with you as my co-host. I feel like I've spoken, for over 2 hours about this game, on a microphone. And out of everybody that I kind of work with, you have been my longtime friend. And this feels good to kind of experience this together because when you and I started talking again, because obviously adulting happens, we really connected after the CJ Stroud season. So
yeah, it was like his second season where it was really we were locked in.
Yeah, well, we connected for the first time in years after right before the Utah game, and then so that was year one Stroud. Then we started talking a lot more. And Tyler was a huge help to me when I moved to Columbus, talking with me a good amount. And so, in our adult friendship, we haven't experienced this. And I, it's funny. I'm not going to hold back my emotions about it. I'm ecstatic that they won the game. But you and I also have not talked since the game wrapped. We shot texts every now and again. So what I'm going to get from you, I think is this will be news to me as well as the audience.
Yeah, I haven't really shared. I haven't really talked to anybody. I'm still very new to all this, so nobody has really asked me to go on their show yet. So I've been kind of just sitting at home and thinking about it and all the things that come with it. I wrote a bunch of notes down this morning when I was laying in bed. Shout out to my kids who didn't wake up until 7:30. It was amazing,
legendary.
Went and cut down a tree this morning.
I love cutting down trees actually.
Some real Paul Bunyan white people shit, But I just had a lot of time to think and reflect because I grew up in this rivalry where I don't even know what the last 4 years were new to me, completely new to me. My dad remembers the Cooper years when it was bad, and I never experienced that. I was Tressel, Urban, 15-5. The last 20 years.
Yeah, Coronation Day is what it was.
Yeah, and so the thing that was awesome, the thing that I feel the most happy for is Ryan Day in the sense that he won the game playing his game, and he won the game playing Michigan's game.
Bingo.
He did it both ways. I mean, what they did in the first half plus of that game, where they were just throwing bombs to all the SFE boys, and Julian was back there spinning it. And then what he did when they got the ball with 8 minutes left in the third quarter, and Michigan didn't see the ball again for 12 minutes, which probably felt like 12 minutes of game time, which probably felt like
30 minutes,
30 to 40 minutes of real time.
Yeah.
That really had to, that was the game was over. Even though we only kicked a field goal, the game was over.
That's the strangulation, dude. That's the python around your neck. That is, you are going to sit here. I'm not going to be creative. I'm going to throw punch after punch after punch. I'm not going to knock you out, but welcome to the deepest of waters. And that's where Ryan Day took Sharon Moore. That's where Ryan Day took Wink. That was honestly a legacy drive. 12 minutes. I mean, honestly, maybe the most iconic field goal drive that I can ever remember. Right?
I mean, yeah, it was definitely, it's one of the most impressive drives of this rivalry in the last 20 years.
Yeah, and it's not going to, because it didn't end in a touchdown, it's not going to have the same amount of, I guess.
But we're going to be talking about that drive for a long time.
Yeah.
Because that drive not only iced the game, but it also, the tough rumor, the tough allegations, the soft allegations, that shit was all put to bed. There's nothing you can say to. There's nothing a Michigan fan can tell Ryan Day right now. The other thing that I was really happy for is that when Julian threw the pick, my first thought was, well, they took a shot to Jeremiah and then he threw the pick, and I was like, okay,
No, shot to Carnell, play 1. Shot to Jeremiah, play 2.
yeah.
Pick.
And I was like, okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna throw it down the field. The only thing I was worried about was him being like, uh-oh, and tightening up in that moment, and he didn't.
Well, I think he started to. I do. I think he started to. I think this is where Bo Jackson deserves all the flowers in the world. Bo Jackson being able to get you 8 yards and make it a third and very reasonable, because the first 2 plays after the pick were what? Handoff, and it wasn't really blocked that great on the TV copy. It didn't look blocked that great, but Bo Jackson made somebody miss. And the 5-yard run, it looked like Bo was 1 missed tackle away from making that a 60-yard run, right? And then also later on in that drive, Bo had the 36-yard run. So it's like we saw like that second drive, it kind of gave Ryan Day the comfort that like, okay, my quarterback can settle down. And while he settles down, and while I settle down, and while Billy Fessler talks to me about letting him get back in control, this run game, like Bo Jackson is amped up for the moment. And I don't know if you read lips, but it looked like some of the stuff that was saying on, like, but from Bo, y'all never beat me.
Yeah. You know, you had the question, you made the statement that whose freshman will play better.
Yeah.
Lamar, Bo Jackson was by far, not even remotely close, the best freshman on the field yesterday.
100%. Not even close.
No.
Not even close. Look, it's funny because like at Ohio State, a lot of times like that sentence is a little like, what do you mean? Like we're Ohio State, like we don't really play freshmen. But this was going to be about whose true freshmen were better. And the candidates for the true freshmen off: Bryce Underwood, Andrew Marsh. Andrew Marsh, 0 catches. Bryce Underwood, his best Davis Warren impression, 63 yards and a pick.
Ass.
He's so bad, bro. And you know my thoughts on him. Meanwhile, Bo, first freshman to have 100 yards in the game since J.K. Dobbins. Dude, I nobody's ready for this. And I said this on the watch party that we did. He's gonna be the best back in America. And it's not a matter of if, it's when. Because honestly, he'd be in the top 5 to 6 backs in America this year if he had played the full season and got kind of the full workload. This version right now, heading into the postseason, is a top 3 back in America. The start and stop he had, Tyler, on that 36-yard run where he was dead to rights, it was not blocked correctly, he had to bounce it. 2 Michigan players right there to start, stop, and start again and accelerate, to bend it around the edge, and then run over the guy who you just called soft the play before. Like, that was the Bo Jackson introduction. I'm just better than you. That is this is how much recruiting matters. That is when push comes to shove in the postseason, when we got to put our weights in our pockets and go, I'm just more talented than you. And so I best freshman of the day. Maybe one of the best players of the day.
Oh, best player, one of the best players for sure. I mean, I thought he was more impactful than Jeremiah was.
Yeah,
Jeremiah had 3 for 40 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
I get it. He had the big catch that was a big thing, but like they basically told Julian Sayin and Bo Jackson, like, go win the game.
It's your turn.
It's your turn. Go win the game.
Mm-hmm.
And this is way in advance. Like next year, it's going to be Julian and Jeremiah's show next year because they're going to be second year Julian and third year Jeremiah is going to be insane.
And when you say this, start mentioning second year Bo.
Yeah, but like the offense is still going to run through Jeremiah. And
No. Okay, but start mentioning second year Bo.
But Bo's third year, when it's TSC's first time starting, oh my God, bro, he's gonna. If Ryan wants him to get to New York, he will get to New York.
I mean, he could have a Jeremiah Love like impact year 3.
Correct.
I'm hate him doing that. But I've kind of been holding my tongue on him. But he's been unbelievable.
You can't hold your tongue on him. Like
no, and like
this was his like. This was the Bo Jackson game.
Yeah, and like a lot of it, like when things weren't even blocked correctly, like that 36-yard run block, that was not blocked the right way. That was just him being a superstar.
No,
a superstar, and I love it. Like when you start to see a running back that's fresh, peaking at the end of the year. And look, I went on all these Michigan shows, And I said that Bo Jackson was better than Jordan Marshall, and I got so much pushback from Ohio State fans and from Michigan fans. But I was like, oh, you guys are going to see. You guys will see. Like Jordan Marshall averages less yards per carry. Jordan Marshall obviously like has a more workload, but they got similar yards. And Jordan Marshall has more touchdowns. But vision, it's close to a wash. I gave Jordan Marshall a slight edge on vision. Burst, not close. Start, stop, not close. Get skinny through the hole, not close. All those in favor of Bo Jackson.
Yeah. No, he was he was electric. I do want to get back to Ryan Day real quick, though.
Yeah, let's do it. My bad. I didn't mean to derail
because I want to talk about how much can change in 365 days. A year ago, a large majority of this fan base wanted him to be fired, myself included. I was done. I couldn't do it anymore. He struggled. He was inconsistent in the big games as far as who he was as a coach, who he believed himself to be. I never knew what coach was going to come out of the tunnel. Was it the coach that's the best play caller in the game, best offensive schemer in the game, or was it a guy who was a shell of himself and scared to lose?
Yeah.
If we fast forward, he's played 16 games since that loss. He's 16-0. He's beaten number 1 Oregon, number 1 Texas, number 3 Texas, number 5 Notre Dame, number 7 Tennessee, and number 15 Michigan with a national championship. Ryan Day is operating his program now. The last chain has been broken. He's operating right now at a level that is unmatched. There is not a single team that I'm intimidated of. There's not a single team that I'm scared of. I don't think that anything is holding them back. There's nothing that can hold them back because now he's free of this. Now, does he still need to go prove it year after year after year and keep beating them? Absolutely he does. But, like, who's doing it better? Who's hiring better? Who's retaining their roster better? Who's recruiting better? And not that they're getting all of the best guys, but they're getting all the right guys.
Yeah, and I know people talk about, like, the money thing. The money thing for Ohio State's always going to be more interesting than it is for other places, not because they're poor, but because they have so much depth that they pay so much depth. And so they're just a little bit tighter with their budget, generally speaking, but they're still going to be elite guys, right? Like, you don't get Jeremiah Smith, like, if you're not. Like, you don't get Quinshon Judkins if you're not.
Correct.
So,
but they're paying their guys to also stay.
that's what I'm saying. It's like since guys stay, they don't have enormous amounts of money that come off the books like other places. That's where the because here we go. Like when we get outbid, it's usually because a team had 2 or 3 guys come off the books that were expensive because they left, and they're trying to overpay at a desperation. Ohio State will never operate that, and people confuse that with not wanting to spend at all. And I think a lot of that's kind of like Twitter climate as well.
Correct. And this recent portal class was not good. However, I don't believe that a program can use the portal as their main source of roster construction and be successful year after year after year.
Right.
I just don't think that it works. I don't think nobody has shown me that it will work over the course of time.
Well, we'll see. We'll see, right? Like Indiana, like how many more years do you want to see Indiana do this for you to be like, okay, like maybe that could work?
But I still believe that they need to do better in their high school recruiting, which I think they are.
Yeah.
I could be wrong there, but like this, he's allowed to now prove a point. Like he can go and pluck whoever he wants to out of the portal now.
On the portal thing, just real quick, I'm going to cut you off on that because I don't want to get too far from this. Ohio State is able to miss in the portal and it not hurt them because Ryan Day's built depth. Just in that.
Correct. Like if a normal team that misses this badly in the portal is done for.
I mean, they legit went over.
Over. I mean, the only thing that I disagree with yesterday was CJ Donaldson getting to play as much as he played.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what are we doing, man?
Like, think about it, dog. Like, you paid a defensive end big bucks, not in the 2 deep. You paid an offensive lineman huge bucks, not in the 2 deep. You paid a running back a decent amount of money to come here, and he is the backup that people sink their heads when he comes into the game. Like that's what we're talking about now in the portal class. It's an offer, but you're Ohio State. You're so deep you can afford that offer.
So, I don't think anything is going to stop them. I'm excited to see how he manages this week after such an emotional release that he just got. I'm curious to see what they look like. You know, my early prediction is I think they might be a little flat on Saturday night. I think they might be a little flat on Saturday night at first.
You've never been more wrong.
I want to be wrong.
I've just never
seen we've never seen Ryan come off such an emotional win like this and have to play another good team.
Dog, you would be right if this was between weeks 5 and weeks 10. The thing that Hate Week provides, the thing that the Michigan game provides that is different from your normal come out flat week is the pageantry and super boldness that the Big Ten championship game feels. This is not, you're not walking into like, okay, we just played Michigan. Now we got to go play Purdue. You're walking into, this is now everybody's first chance here in Indy on the fast track. Last time I was in Indy, we had a record setting day. It's indoors. Finals are done. Like you are going now, the monkey's off the back now. The weight's been lifted, sure. The chains have been broken. You are going to get the full unleashed version. Like don't get like this. Yes, is an emotional win, but this wasn't an emotional win because it was like such a mountaintop. This was an emotional win because this was a mental block, and now that mental block is free. That's the equivalent to like I can't go have fun because I got an exam tomorrow. I just aced my exam that I failed 3 straight times. Let's go have fun. And when Ryan Day is free and relaxed, what is he?
He's really good. But before anybody cooks me, this game was significantly more emotional than the Tennessee, the Oregon, and the Texas game.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would push back.
Nobody, I don't want to hear it from nobody. Like, this game meant so much to him personally.
Mm-hmm.
I just wonder what his attitude is going to be like this week.
Feeling relief. I think you got to feel really motivated now. Because here we go.
I'm not saying he's not going to be motivated. I'm saying it's just like, is his relaxed body language and, you know, the way he carries himself this week going to leak into, maybe he won't be relaxed. Maybe he's a full psycho now, and maybe I'm just really wrong.
Relaxed in the stint where now I can go be Ryan Day. Because this is.
I want to be wrong here. I
think you're 1,000% wrong.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm just.
Here we go.
How relaxed is he going to be? Is it going to be too relaxed? Is my question.
Well, no, relax is in I can now be Ryan Day, not relax is in okay, we did it. Because this wasn't about we did it. This is about okay, I can be Ryan Day again.
I hope so. I do want to also give credit to Tyler Bowen. This performance by the offensive line, honestly, was a little bit surprising because they haven't been this good running the ball. They definitely had that moment in the goal line where they didn't get it in.
Yeah, I'm gonna table my thoughts on the offensive line.
But Chris, Julian Sayin was not sacked and was not pressured one single time.
Yeah, and that's huge flowers for that.
I mean, and that 12-minute drive was all them. I mean, Bo made a lot of things right there, but he also didn't get touched 3 yards into his run. Like he didn't get touched until he was 3 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. So
I just thought it was their best performance of the season. So I wanted to give Tyler Bowen credit because they balled. And maybe I wasn't paying attention as normal to the offensive line, but it just felt like they made their impact in this game, and that Julian never was rushed.
Yeah, no, I think I agree, but I just want to the offensive line thing. I'll just wait and table until Zach breaks it down. I do want to give.
And if Indiana fans watching that game, him having all day to throw back there cannot make them feel good about what they got going on.
Absolutely not.
So
thoughts on the Jeremiah Smith flicking off the camera, or not flicking off the camera, flicking off the crowd?
I'm here for it.
I love it. And I saw this tweet from Specialist that I saved for the show. It quote tweeting Jeremiah Smith posting it, the flick off. Mm-hmm. And he also made it his profile picture on Instagram. It was his birthday too. This on Jeremiah Smith. He hails from a faraway place and uniquely understands what this fan base wants and delivers time and time again. What a special player. He gets it, dude. He gets this fan base. He gets this rivalry. The Florida boys, I thought, all showed out. I mean, I posted a zoom in shot when they coming out of the tunnel with one of the kids flicking off the fans. That was TJ Alford, true freshman from Florida.
Texas. I thought he was from Texas.
No, TJ
Riley
Alford.
Pettijohn's from Texas.
Yeah, Riley's from Texas. No, TJ Alford's from Florida.
Yeah.
Florida.
My bad.
Those Florida boys have a unique understanding of this rivalry, and I love it. I love it.
I can talk about specifically specifically Jeremiah and Carnell. I don't know if that was the plan all along for them to sit and then play.
They were both dinged up. That was real.
I think they were. Carnell looked a lot better than I thought he was going to look.
Surprised some coaches as well.
Carnell, to me, if you don't, I'm going to say this again. The team that doesn't take Carnell with the first wide receiver pick in this draft is royally making a mistake.
Yeah.
Just, I don't, leave it at that.
He's such a security blanket, and he hits doubles.
Yeah. Sometimes he'll even hit a homer.
Yeah. So that's that's what I always say. Like, for my receivers, if you're a security blanket and you start, and that's cool, you're hitting singles. Once you start hitting doubles, you're a superstar. And once you start hitting triples and home runs as a security blanket, I'm like, oh God, yeah.
I mean, 2 years from now, we're gonna be like, Carnell's the best receiver in the NFL, or one of the. He's gonna be like having the JSN talk.
Yeah. I was gonna say he's got to have it quick before Jeremiah gets there.
Well, in regards to Jeremiah, I think when Jeremiah is all done, there's a lot of things that still have to happen for what I'm about to say to be true. But I think what he's heading towards is a place where he is maybe the best player to ever don an Ohio State uniform.
I had this talk with Ron yesterday. If they win a natty, one more natty, if he wins a natty, and he doesn't lose to Michigan in the end, which he promised he wouldn't. There was one generation they had Archie, one generation had Orlando Pace. Our generation's going to have Jeremiah Smith. We are now talking about the ethos of, we're no longer talking about the best Ohio State receiver. We're talking about the best Ohio State player. And we're talking about the best receiver that the sport's seen. He's entering uniquely rare air right now.
And I'm not even really necessarily talking about. I'm more talking about his play on the field, because that speaks for itself. I'm more of the fact that he comes from South Florida and he understands this life and culture at Ohio State is just it's putting him in that rare, the rarest of air now.
Yeah, I mean that's the three, right? Archie, Pace, and Jeremiah. Now there's been a lot of great players like Chris Carter. I think if they win a natty, he ascends higher than Chris Carter, and that's not something that takes super lightly.
I think if you really think about it, if you include NFL success as well, Orlando Pace is the greatest Ohio State player of all time. He's the best offensive lineman ever. I mean, just from a pure
made it to New York.
Yeah, I mean, he made it to New York as a left tackle. What? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, by the way. So, but Jeremiah could be that as well.
He needs he needs a natty, and then we're talking about all time. Here we go. He's got a chance to be. Maybe the Orlando Pace and Archie thing is going to turn too many people off, but he's got a chance to be to Ohio State what Reggie Bush was to USC without the sanctions.
Yeah.
And that's really rare air. That's really, really rare air.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, you felt his impact. He only had 3 catches for 40 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And he scored a touchdown, and that was a touchdown. Don't let anybody tell you any differently. That was a touchdown. He crossed the plane with control of the ball.
I don't think he did, but I think that
Also, he got held on the fucking route to begin with.
That's my point. 2 parts. If you want a play and you're on the other side, don't headbutt the ref earlier in the game.
Should have gotten tossed.
Right. You should have
gotten thrown out.
Yeah, so we did you a solid. And the issue with them calling it a touchback is that because they didn't call the hold beforehand, it would have Michigan's ball. But it's there was definitely a hold in there way earlier, a really egregious hold.
Yeah.
So, and the third part is, I don't know, you saw my quote tweet. Play better ball, won't matter. And also, you guys weren't doing anything on offense anyway, so it doesn't matter. But
yeah,
whatever.
So,
happy birthday, Jeremiah.
Yeah, happy birthday, Jeremiah. A couple other things. Julian took himself to another notch in my book, responding how he responded after the pick, to play how he played in the snow, to throw the ball like he threw the ball in the snow, to command the offense like he commanded the offense. That was just another notch that, I don't know, man. I don't know who was better. The accuracy, the ball placement, the timing, the ball is always where it needs to be, when it needs to be there.
Better in college football right now?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I just
there's
like
nobody. There's nobody better in college
I
football
don't
right now.
know. I mean, people
There's
like
nobody. I know.
the Mendoza thing. Dante Moore looked pretty good too, but like
No, but like here we go.
and I know that Julian has everything that you need to be successful, but he's doing it at the highest level.
Yeah, and the Mendoza and Dante Moore and Ty Simpson stuff will never get an accurate, fair comparison because who does a lot of those comparisons?
I know. Yeah.
Well, no. It's like it's a rhetoric question. Like we'll never accurately get like that debate because there's two worlds of people out there: college football people and NFL people. When NFL people evaluate these college players, you're not going to get a lot of the NFL chime in from Julian Sayin to Mendoza because the NFL people right now are focused on who could be quarterback one for this draft class. And so the conversation you're going to get about quarterback in the ethos of, the football world are going to be Dante Moore, Ty Simpson, Mendoza, because Julian Sayin is not draft eligible yet. So what you'll hear next year is you'll hear that if Julian Sayin was eligible a year ago, he would have been quarterback one. But by then, it's almost like one ship has already left, like one plane's already left. And so we're trying to have this conversation with like a show of the Mendoza, Moore, Ty Simpson people. But anybody that knows football can acknowledge that, like, as a better passer, better quarterback on the football field, Julian Sayin's the one where the only hand you're going to get is like his up end. Like he'd probably be the worst athlete, the worst athletically, the worst RAS of any quarterback in the NFL if he started today. And that's the only downside with him. But I don't think it matters. I'm not an RAS guy because like fucking Peyton, I know he was big. Tom, he was big. But Drew is kind of like my comp for him.
I mean, Tom and Peyton were bad at. They were not even good at. They were
bad.
Their
RAS gets a bump because they're tall and strong and they can take hits, whatever. So like I remove them from it.
Whatever. I know what you're trying to say. I get it.
Yeah, but like Julian Sayin, he does a thing where he throws on his tippy toes. It's very Drew Breesy. It's baby Breeze, dude.
Yeah.
Just thinner.
But I think getting overshadowed really. If I was Ryan Day, after this weekend, after you go and beat Indiana and win the Big Ten title, you need to meet with Jaros Bjork and you need to give Matt Patricia an extension right now. And just give him an elevator clause.
Yeah.
I don't even wait.
He's the favorite for the UConn job right now.
And in fact, what I would do it soon because it would make it even more of a kick in the dick for Jim Knowles. Like, I'm not even going to wait for the playoffs. We're just going to do this right now.
I forgot about Jim. I don't think he'll need it. I think he's staying.
But like, I'm just doing it. I'm doing it now to prove a point, and I'm putting the elevator clause in there. I'm making it well known. Like, if you want him, you're going to have to pay a lot of money because he's worth it.
I also think him being on the field instead of in the box relaxes Ryan.
Probably.
Like, because Jim was in the box, but like for him to be an NFL guy and be really good at like the way the communications work and be able to coach on the field, but also like from the box at the same time because of the new iPad structure. And I'm sure that several times, like he went over to Ryan Day, like, hey, like we're good, air it out. They're not scoring on us. Like this is what I see. They can't stop us. Like I think that has to be like a calming presence on the sideline.
So that's what just quickly, like I'm giving him all the monies, like making him the highest paid defense coordinator right now. Putting an elevator clause and be like, done with this.
I'm not going to let us end this Ohio State segment without saying that the same way that he deserves a bump, Billy Fessler, flowers.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, no doubt. Was there a defensive player that stood out to you?
Arvell, when he blew up that two-play sequence, the sack, and then the blowing up the screen.
Yeah. I'm just talking about, like, as a whole, you're like, man, they're always there.
I thought Arvell and Sonny were in everything.
Sonny was always there. The one that I thought was Kenyatta. Kenyatta was in the backfield all the time.
He was there the entire game.
He bull rushed the shit out of that tackle for Michigan every time.
Mm-hmm. He had them in hell.
I mean, he just like that was his and I'm starting to think he's going to come back because he didn't walk at senior day.
That's what I've been saying, dog. He didn't walk. I think he's coming back.
So
he had the only sack of the day.
Yeah. So I think Sonny balled, Kenyatta balled, Arvell balled, and Michigan receivers still stink.
No, I'm not going to do that. I think they're good. I think we're just BIA.
Well, yeah.
Because Donovan McCulley made that crazy catch on the side. Like, Donovan McCulley can play, and so can Andrew Marsh. Andrew Marsh had 0 catches.
Yeah. But, no, I felt – my wife was like, you don't seem very happy. And I was like, it's more of like a sigh of relief.
It's like the end of the movie.
Yeah, I was just very relieved, and I felt an easiness about me. Like I felt lighter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking like I'm like a member of that team, but like it
Hey
just
man,
felt like
the boys from Cleveland played crazy. I told you on the pod we did in person with someone from Akron scores. I feel like I score. Same with Cleveland.
yeah,
That was us.
yeah, dog. It was just I just felt very happy for them. I felt very happy for Ryan Day. I felt a sigh of relief for myself, and now I feel like they're just chasing destiny at this point. They're just chasing. They're chasing to be a part of the conversations for the best team of all time.
Yep.
And I think that's a really awesome place to be.
It's a really cool place to be.
So,
Do you want to hit some other games? But before we hit those other games, just real quick, Penn State beat Rutgers. This is the bowl eligible game. Yeah, that's why it matters. And I wanted to float it out here just because I don't think it got noticed how impressive the Ohio State secondary was last week against Rutgers.
Rutgers got
KJ Duff.
nasty on Penn State secondary.
KJ Duff went crazy, dude. He's so good. And I feel like I'm in the weeds because everyone's like, why do you keep talking about KJ Duff? No one knows who he is. He's crazy, bro. And I think he's going to be the number one portal receiver, him or Cam Coleman. But I think Cam Coleman might end up staying with the hire they just made.
Yeah, I saw that. We'll get into that.
Yeah, but KJ Duff, 5 catches, 127, and a touchdown in their win over Penn State. Here we go. No, they're lost against Penn State. Texas A&M. This was the easiest called upset for me of the year.
Yeah, we both did. We both called this one. I mean, Texas A&M, pretty sure all of their SEC wins have come against the below the Mendoza line of the SEC standings. And they got exposed.
They did.
Their offense is not as good as people think. Their defense is what we thought. And it made things I think they did well from the standpoint of the Georgia conundrum. It did the committee a favor because if Georgia now playing in the SEC title game, I do think if Georgia wins the SEC title, they will jump the loser of the Big Ten championship, and the loser of the Big Ten championship will be the 3 seed.
Unless it's a close game.
I think just knowing the committee and like their SEC, biasness, I think if Georgia wins, they'll be the 2 seed, and then Indiana or Ohio State will be.
I'm glad that Georgia's going to be in though, so we don't have the risk.
Correct. We don't have to double buy. So that's the favor that happened to the committee.
But I do want to talk about the game though, because that was a fun game to watch, dude. And I'm watching like Arch Manning really come to his own and kind of finish the year very, very strong. I know he had a tough first half, but ended up playing well enough. And I like this Texas team, and it's fun because now we can look back, full body of work. That win over Texas is a really impressive win.
Well, is it? According to SEC people a week ago,
yeah,
it wasn't.
It wasn't, but now they have.
But now that they're trying to sneak in their Longhorns into the SEC into the playoff, they're like, oh. Wait, they went and played Ohio State at Ohio State. Yeah, they're a really good team.
Well, and not just that. Like here we go. The game flow went. That was a good game until it wasn't. Obviously, like A&M scoring 10 points in the second quarter to Texas's 3. You go up 13-3. But then Sark second half adjustments 10-14, and you saw Arch Manning with his legs also. I think that was really important. Arch Manning with his legs in the second half. 7 carries, 7.6 yards per carry, and a touchdown with a long of 35. His legs and allowed them to pick up first downs and kind of take over the game. And when that happens, it's like, okay, like you see what Arch is able to do. And it's like, oh, he didn't do any of that against Ohio State. It was non-existent. They took away the run and the pass. So they handled him. And for Texas A&M, it's like, oh, well, Texas A&M lost to a very tough Texas team. They shouldn't be punished. Now Texas has a win over the number 3 team in the country, and their loss is going to be against the number 3 team in the country and the number 1 team in the country. So I love it. And then the other part of it is, and this is kind of a Ty Simpson point. He said every single week in the SEC is the playoffs. And my stance to that is, okay, cool. In the playoffs, when you lose, you get bounced. So Alabama, you should be out. Texas, you should be out. It's kind of like the joke that he kind of painted himself in. But Texas now has to look in the mirror and go to the SEC offices. And I would almost bet that they are going to get incentivized to cancel the Ohio State game next year. And I love it. Run scared for the hills, duck the smoke, 9 conference games all of a sudden, and now you don't want to play Ohio State. I love it. I'm here for it because they're going to miss the playoffs, and they should. And I love that Sark was crying. I love that an enormous fan base is going to feel wronged, and I love that it's not going to matter because everybody is fodder for Ohio State. But Texas beating A&M, all it does is prove the sizable gap. And the other part of it is, you made the mention that A&M hasn't really played anybody. That's wild because we're always told that you play somebody tough every single week in the SEC, A&M proved that maybe that's not the case. Or if it is tough, you're just not as tough as you think. So I'm here for it. I love it. It was the perfect solving chaos and providing a controversy that has nothing to do with my team. And I'm glad and I'm excited to see the mental gymnastics that SEC media people do about this Texas team now.
I mean, when you get down to the nitty gritty and you have essentially what it's going to be four teams for one spot, your resume gets opened up more. So let's look at it. You lost to a non-bowl eligible Florida team who just lost to the 12th place team in the ACC.
Yeah, Florida always does this stuff. They always get somebody.
And you lost by 4 scores. I looked it up, Chris. Somebody fact check me, but I believe there's only been one team that has made the playoff in the playoff era that has lost the game by more than 20 points. Georgia lost to Auburn by 23 points.
You're probably right.
So there's that. You lost to a non-bowl eligible team, and you lost by 4 scores.
Mm-hmm.
You also went to overtime against a horrible Kentucky team, and you went to overtime versus a bad Arkansas team. Your quarterback spent half of the season playing like shit.
Yeah, and honestly, it was pronounced dead. Now, I was never a pronounced arch dead guy. I always saw the vision, but it came together for this game in particular. Now, here we go, Tyler. Should it be best, most deserved? Because here we go. Like, I think Texas is probably one of the 12 best teams in the sport, but I never thought that best mattered.
I don't think that best. If you do best, they're in.
Yeah,
but that's not how this works. How many times have we watched where the NFC South or the NFC East or the AFC South are all bad? All bad. Seattle went to the playoffs finishing under 500.
So did some of those Cam Newton Panthers.
So it's just like, that's just the way that it goes, man.
You just didn't complete your path, big dog.
And like, if you want to be mad at somebody, be mad at your conference for like having dumb scheduling.
Texas, I mean, they can. They're. I mean, I don't know.
Why did Texas A&M get to like their schedule? I mean, Ohio State. I mean, teams could say that about Ohio State this year for our Big Ten schedule. You know, it's not. Is it our fault? No, It's not our fault. But like, that's the way that it goes right now.
I guess like for me, like A&M also like beat Notre Dame early in the year.
Yeah,
like for me, like A&M beat Notre Dame, and they got LSU, Missouri, and South Carolina. All were media darlings, supposed to be good, and Florida too. But the conference just fell apart. Is really what it is. The conference is soft enough to cause this to happen.
So Texas, they're going to jump Michigan. They're going to jump Utah. They're going to like the question becomes Miami and Vandy, and they beat Vandy. So in that sense, when you're this close in, like you're in a pod, they should probably jump Vandy as well. But you can't jump Miami if Notre Dame's going to be in the playoff already. Like if one of those, if Miami or Texas is getting in, it's Miami.
Yeah, I guess we're diving too much into playoff talk. We'll get that more later on this week.
We'll do that tomorrow. That's fine.
Yeah. Georgia Tech, a pretty boring game. Georgia Tech, Haynes King cannot find the end zone.
Georgia's offense is buns.
No, it's
buns,
not,
dude. Yes, they are.
Georgia Tech's offense is not bad. That Georgia defense.
No, I said really Georgia's offense.
Oh, Georgia. I think it's Georgia Tech. I'm like, what?
No, Georgia's offense is buns.
Yeah, because that Georgia Tech passing defense is horrible, and like, they couldn't. And that game was close, way too close.
Bro, Georgia's food. They're food. I want to play Georgia so bad in the playoffs. It's not even funny.
I think that would be a good battle though, because like I'm not gonna like Georgia looked bad this game, but also like Georgia does a thing where they like play down to their competition.
But like they do the same. Their offense is the same. It's screen plays to the outside, seam shots. It's the same offense versus everybody.
Yeah.
That team's not. How are they going to score enough points against Ohio State? They're not.
I think that would be a really good game. I think that's the national title. I think
you're only saying that because you respect Kirby Smart.
No, I'm saying that because I saw
Matt Patricia would put Mike Bobo in a body bag.
Yeah, I think that would be an issue. That would be an issue for them. But I do think that would be a good game. I think honestly, like no, I mean, here we go. Ohio State, Indiana is a pre-natty. Ohio State, Oregon is probably the real natty. Ohio State, Georgia is the fun little sub-genre when worlds collide, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
They play up to comp though, dude.
I don't care.
They rose against Texas.
I don't care. That offense is cheeks, dude.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about that offense. And respectfully, I think Gunnar Stockton is just a good college quarterback. He's not even a great college quarterback.
Oh yeah, I don't think anybody's called him great.
I'm talking about college specific.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody thinks he's a great college quarterback.
I mean, I don't see it.
With Gunnar or with Georgia?
I'm a Kirby guy. I like Kirby more than you like Kirby.
Yeah, no, I someone that goes to a barbershop repeatedly over the course of 10 years and you've got millions of dollars and decides to come out like that, I always question your judgment. But I think I would like to see them, I guess. I would like to see them. And I keep having this dream that Dan Lanning, I'm deciding who I want to get their get back more, Ryan Day or Dan Lanning. Like what storyline I like more.
I don't care. Anybody can get it.
Well, I'm talking about like for the storyline purposes. Like what storyline is better for the sport? Like Dan Lanning beating Kirby Smart or Ryan Day beating Kirby Smart?
Ryan Day beating Kirby Smart, because Ryan Day, if he had a competent kicker, we're talking about his chase for the third natty in 5 years.
Yeah, like that's a good storyline. But the other storyline is Dan Lanning left Kirby Smart, and then the first time they met, it was
Kirby did him dirty.
And Dan Lanning in the post game rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Do you remember what he said?
Get me now.
Did
he say get me now?
No. He said my players aren't good enough.
Oh yeah.
And people took offense to that. And then he proceeded to do what? Go berserk and get good enough players. It would be nice. And also the sub genre, we differ on this. For Dan to beat Kirby, the documentary we would get from Oregon afterwards would be unbelievable content. Unbelievable. So that's where I'm at. But obviously, like my Ohio State bias, I think that like winning another title and beating Kirby would be awesome. And like okay, like look, everyone's been X'd off the list. Right? It's like the Incredibles meme.
Yeah.
Like Tennessee gone, Oregon gone, Michigan gone, Georgia gone.
Yep.
And then it's like you just got to get Bama.
Everybody that's wronged Ryan Day.
Yeah.
I think Kirby's the last one.
It's the scene from Incredibles. Gone. You gone. You gone. You, Dan Lanning, we did you super dirty. Gone.
Yes.
You Marcus Freeman, gone. Natty. Sherrone Moore, gone. Like get them all out of here. Signetti, gone. That is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
That would be that storyline.
Yeah, Georgia Tech they just seemed like they ran out of gas.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They weren't good enough. And one of the things that's happening is the guy who should have been the number one receiver is playing really good ball at Auburn right now. The guy who's supposed to be their number one defensive end leads Texas Tech in sacks. So it's like, that's where you lose, that whole thing. But I'm happy with here we go. I guess this is slightly Georgia Tech pod. I'm happy with Georgia Tech's season. I'm really happy that I got to see the career of Haynes King. He will be the side character in the movie that never got the job done. But it's cool. My brother in Christ, we got you. We as in the Big Ten. We'll take care of Georgia for you.
Yeah.
Oregon, Washington. Honestly, they probably should have been on upset alert. Washington back healthy, but this Oregon team not healthy, down 4 of their 5 top offensive linemen and down their most expensive pass catchers. Oregon takes care of business.
I never felt like Oregon was in trouble in that game ever.
They were,
they couldn't finish a drive to save their life. But I never felt like Oregon was in trouble.
Right.
And I think that's important.
It is. It's a feel thing.
I think Oregon.
That's what the eye test feels like.
Yeah.
Like
I think Oregon's the top 4 team in the country.
This is a 12-point game, but it felt like a 20-point game because that's the eye test.
Correct. Yeah. So I thought Dante Moore threw a lot of good balls.
Yeah.
Good. The running game was meh, but their offensive line was, depleted.
Here's the thing: when they get healthy, Tyler, watch out.
Yeah, they're going to be a problem.
Yeah,
They're a problem.
They're already a problem now. I mean, they beat USC not healthy.
I'm hoping for Washington's sake. I want Jed Fish to stay there one more year. I want to see what Damon Williams looks like in year 2.
See what he looks like at Penn State.
You think Jed Fish is going to Penn State?
I do.
Oh, well, that would be interesting.
Dude, I think he's leaving Washington, so
yeah,
I don't know where he goes. And like that's the only one that makes sense for me is like the mystery candidate for Penn State because they've struck out on everybody. I mean, maybe Dable.
Yeah,
maybe I don't think they want to hire Terry Smith after the stunt that he pulled.
Yeah, they won't do that. So,
and do you remember Jed used to beef with Zach?
No.
That's my introduction to Zach was on Instagram and on Twitter when he was recruiting because there was like a recruiting beef going on between Jed because Jed was at Michigan.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm. And Zach when Zach was at Ohio State.
Yep. Bama Auburn
Close.
Alabama's just kind of, and I know like that's a really good rivalry. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not. That stadium is so much weird shit has happened in that stadium.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Alabama's inability to run the football
is going to hurt them.
It's going to kill them.
Yeah.
I'm so fascinated to see what the committee does with Alabama when they lose their 3rd game against Georgia in the SEC title game.
They got off to the hot start against Auburn, and I think that kind of helped them. But their offensive line struggled. Obviously, like Ryan Williams had the great catch in the back of the end. No, not Ryan Williams. The other kid had the great catch in the back of the end zone. Like it was being like rushed like crazy. So even when their offense looked good, it looked kind of messy a little bit, and that definitely threw me off. I mean, they got outgained.
Yeah, Auburn outgained them. Yeah.
Do you know how bad?
No.
411 to 280 total yards.
Yeah.
And 2 turnovers. That's the issue, bro.
Yeah.
Auburn had the 2 turnovers, but outgained them. Auburn had more first downs, more penalties, but better job on 3rd down, 2 out of 3 on 4th down. But time of possession, Alabama 34-29.
Gotcha.
Game control.
Vandy, Tennessee. Anything interesting in that one? Are we?
I think Diego Pavia is trying to speak his Heisman finalist into existence, and that's kind of cool.
His numbers are pretty good.
I mean, they got good, but they
got good.
He should not be a Heisman finalist.
No, I don't think so. I definitely think it's interesting not that I think that Vandy or Texas is getting in, but I'm curious to see where they rank them in their final rankings.
Yeah.
Just to see like what it looks like. Because Vandy to me is one of those teams. They're like what I thought Illinois was going to be, where they would win all the games where there wasn't a significant talent disadvantage for them.
I thought they are what I thought Washington was going to be.
Yeah, same thing.
Fun electric quarterback, instant offense, like the easy bake oven. Yep. I'm going to lose some games with the heavy hitters because my trenches aren't that good, but I'm going to fuck around and have enough fun to win a game. I mean, that's what they feel like to me. And like Diego Pavia, like him on the ground, him using his legs. I mean, honestly, they kind of look like a poor man's Oklahoma.
I mean, if you think about it, the 2 games they lost were the 2 games where they were significantly outmatched talent-wise.
Yeah.
And then they won every other game they played.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama and Texas were significantly more talented than they were, and they were supposed to lose those games. They won the games that was either a pick 'em or they were supposed to win as well. So
you know what the issue with Vandy that's going to really be bad for them? What did we just say the big issue with Alabama was?
Can't run the ball.
Jam Miller against them went for 136. Jam Miller's been held under 100 every other week, it feels like.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about the last couple of weeks, like 80 yards, 30 yards, 50 yards. Against them, he went for 136.
Yeah.
So they were always like a glass cannon a little bit. Miami Pitt, not too much to say here.
Miami definitely was going for the style points the last few weeks, though.
They were, and they let Malachi Tony throw the football. You want to know some South Florida lore? Malachi Tony went to American Heritage. When he was in the 8th grade, he got the nickname down there. You know what the nickname was? Baby Jesus.
Damn.
Yeah. So he was like next in line for like the effectiveness, like with the Jeremiah Smith and stuff. And he was the number 2 receiver on that team that had Brandon Innes. And I guess that he called Brandon Innes Pops. So I wanted to get that kid to Ohio State so bad. I like the kid a lot. But he threw a touchdown pass. Obviously caught one. He's 17. He reclassed. Really talented kid. And they went belt to ass against Miami or against Pitt, who just their offensive line is so bad right now. And so Mason's going to just be under duress. And so teams that can pressure him are going to beat them. What Georgia Tech couldn't do is get pressure. They lost to Pitt. What Notre Dame and Miami could do, they got pressure, and Pitt couldn't do anything with them because they are so like Mason Hines still reliant. So
no doubt.
I guess before we get out of here, Lane Kiffin saga, weird. I'm gonna do a whole video on it. So make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. But it seems like he's going to LSU, and there is the feeling that he's holding Ole Miss hostage. If he has to go to they're supposed to be meeting today at some point, but he's threatening to take the entire coaching staff from Ole Miss to LSU. What'd you got?
So On3 tweeted this at noon. Lane Kiffin has lined up most of his offensive staff to join him at LSU.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
He told them that they're not on the plane to Baton Rouge today. They won't have a spot on staff.
Yeah, so that's the response to if Ole Miss does not let him finish the season, he's taking the whole whole Ole Miss coaching staff with him to LSU.
Yeah,
that is the current battle right now. That is the quote unquote ultimatum. So this is turning into a really toxic situation, and I'm going to try to dig and find as much as I can to try to lay out the timeline because I'm sure a lot of people are pretty confused by what's going on and how this could get this bad this quickly.
Yeah,
right.
I think I don't know how to feel, to be honest with you, about who's right and who's wrong in this situation.
I said before the show the calendar's wrong.
Well, the calendar is wrong. I'm talking about specifically though, but there's nothing they can do about the calendar right now. So what I'm talking about is am I blaming Ole Miss administration or am I blaming Lane Kiffin? Because if I'm, with all due respect to Ole Miss, I'm letting Lane Kiffin coach the rest of the season because I don't know when I'm ever going to get back here again. And without him, I don't even know what the committee would do if they don't let him coach. They might not even let them in, which would be insane, by the way.
Lane Kiffin has to decide sooner, I think, and give the heads up for Ole Miss to start a coaching search. Because Ole Miss, instead of starting a coaching search, is trying to retain their coach. And if they would have known beforehand what he was going to do, they could have started their coaching search and picked a coach and had their next coach start to fish around and build the staff. But by the time Lane Kiffin is done, if they let him coach this thing out, all the good coaches will be gone and all the assistants will be filled. So that's the issue.
Do you think they shouldn't let him coach? Because it sounds like there's a decision coming today.
Yeah. Maybe.
So you don't think Ole Miss should let him coach?
No. I think they should.
Okay.
I think they should, but they need to know they need to put together a staff right now.
Yeah.
So, but I'll do a video on it.
Just scrolling through, it seems like John Summerall is expected to be the next coach at Florida.
Yeah, B5 Billy all over again.
And then Florida's also finalizing a deal with former Jacksonville Jaguars general manager David Caldwell to be the next Gator general manager.
Bingo.
Interesting.
We've got that. We've got Golish, who I thought was going to Arkansas, is going to Auburn, which is awesome.
Yep. I think Auburn is significantly a better job than Arkansas.
Yeah, I think that's a great place for Alex Golish, too. Although, if I'm Alex Golish, I think I wait to see if Lane ends up actually leaving.
Why? Oh, yeah.
Go get the Ole Miss job. That's a fit for him, I think.
Yeah. Tim Beck's getting fired from.
Yeah, I saw that today. That shit cracked me up. But
so I think this coaching carousel is going to unravel quickly once Lane decides what he's doing. Well, I think he knows what he's doing once the announcement gets made. I think there's a lot of dominoes that are going to fall after that. Yeah. I'm fascinated to see how this all works out with the portal.
Meanwhile, Penn State.
What the hell are they doing?
Told you, man, free fall.
Is there name a coach that would save them from going into free fall that you think they could actually go get?
I mean, I don't know why Campbell's not the Penn State coach right now.
I don't either.
That stops the free fall to me.
100%.
But they fucked that whole thing up, dude, and they're going to have to pay for it. And meanwhile, again, James Franklin's going to make the playoffs before Penn State does. That's really crazy.
Oh, I forgot to mention this right before we leave. You in our in-person pod, you said you wanted them to plant the flag. Mm-hmm. You know what's better than planting the flag? Beating them so badly that their players talked about defending the logo in the middle of the field before the game was over.
Yeah, that shit's hilarious. Honestly, bro, Brutus crossing out the M and doing the script Ohio. was better than a flag plant because we got the really iconic photo. And then also, like, we celebrated with our fans. We got a Ryan Day being really passive aggressive to Sharon Moore. And then we got them defending the block M, even though Ohio State was just kind of celebrating with their fans. Well, except for like Jermaine and them tried. Well, Jermaine and them had a belt. But that shit is funny. Did you see what Brandon Ennis put on his Instagram?
No.
Something about, y'all want to defend the M. How about y'all defend the end zone? They wanted to fight so bad, dude.
They did. And, you know, they tried to make it chippy. They tried to make it all the things they
cried after every play.
Yeah, they tried to start a fight after every play. They cried after every play.
Just good shit, dude.
Yeah.
But I'm Kris. That's Tyler.
Peace.
All right. I've been popping my shit. It feels really good. This feels really good. And I'll probably leave this in for post. This week has been, or this 24-hour pocket has been more fun on a microphone than the pocket after winning the national title, because this is the nobody can tell us shit pocket. Because even after the natty, it was like you still had like that part of like Michigan fans that are like really direct. Ha, what's it really mean? But like this week, nobody can tell us shit.